Hey there, thinkers. Welcome back to another episode of Critical Hit. My name is S.
And I'm Pin. And today we're talking about Disney. Now, why are we talking about Disney again? After such a short time. Because Disney's always in the news. You know, lots to talk about with Disney. So up on the screen, you can see Disney closes at lowest level in nearly 9 years as investors turn bearish.
That's
now,
9 years of just downhill.
Well, no, it had really good peaks actually. It was up over $200 at one point, but now sitting down around 80. So this is from a week ago. We didn't want to cover it at the time because there was a little bit to say, but now we have a whole bunch to say. So I'm not going to dwell too long on this. Just know that the premise of this is that Disney closing very low, not doing so good right now in the stock. And why is stock so important? Because directors of a company have one responsibility. That's fiduciary responsibility really to the shareholders. You have to make sure the company's running well. In order to do that, they'll hire a CEO that's supposed to lead you to prosperity. And obviously that's not happening. So we're going to get more into this now. So what's been happening with Disney? Just last Thursday, I guess that was yesterday, we had Disney coming out, taking suddenly lose ESPN and ABC. Here's what's going on between Disney and Spectrum. So breakdown negotiations led to viewers missing out on the US Open and college football.
I mean, as bad things happen, I'm sure that wasn't the complete worst.
Well, I mean, they definitely picked the nights. So let me just read a little bit of this article and we're going to discuss here. So on Thursday night, Spectrum subscribers across the United States lost ESPN, FX, Freeform, and all of Disney's other programming. Turns out Disney-owned channels have gone dark over a carriage dispute with Charter Communications, the company behind the Spectrum brand. Ordinarily, Disney and Charter have agreement on how much Charter will pay Disney in exchange for the right to broadcast its many channels. But as the two companies have been renegotiating the price of Disney programming, they failed to reach an agreement. This breakdown led to Disney pulling its channels from the cable provider Spectrum service Thursday night. Now, of course, this included ESPN, which was just about to broadcast the US Open and kick off its college football season.
Might be that cast iron heart.
So they definitely chose the nights. So they've been obviously arguing with Spectrum. They're trying to get more money, this is just another thing that goes to show you that Disney's just going down the wrong path right now. Disney used to be the company that I don't want to say you ever trusted, but at least you thought of them as a good family company.
Yes, as a family company, you think that they're family, right? Not going to strong arm you or try and.
Well, they always had their lawyers. I mean, and their lawyers were the worst. Remember when that young child had Spider-Man on his grave and the lawyers came and gave him a cease and desist? That was always a bad look. I mean, you're supposed to be, if you want the people to love you, treat your fans well. Disney hasn't always done that, but they at least used to stick to a certain mythos that was, I want to give the customers what they want. That is no longer the case, as you could see that trying to strong arm Charter here into getting a better agreement for their programming, which is linear TV, which is failing already. So I don't know why Disney thinks all these things are worth more than they are. But someone there is telling them the wrong information.
Yeah, it's just it has Disney's brand on it. Obviously, it's better than everything else.
So, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to me that they keep doing this. But this is just a long line of mistakes Disney keeps making. So I want to talk about another thing after this as well. So this is another thing Disney's done wrong. And so Disney being sued, of course, by quite a few different people at the moment. They were sued by investors. That was Disney and Chapek. About 5 to 6 months ago that happened. And the former CFO was listed in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Now they're being sued. Now this is again from August 15th, a couple weeks ago. And this is from TSG over chilling example of Hollywood accounting. So this was TSG had a deal with 20th Century Studios when Disney acquired 20th Century Studios back in 2017. They acquired these deals with them. So TSG was just a lender, lent out 20th Century Studios money in order to make films, essentially. And, they put up some of the risk so they get a whole bunch of the profit in return. So once Disney acquired this, I've read the lawsuit. It's pretty damning towards Disney kind of cooking their books to make it so they didn't have to pay TSG as much. And, they made it so TSG couldn't even, sell their contracts.
Dirt-eating piece of slime, you scum-sucking pig, you son of a motherless goat.
It's kind of ridiculous. Now, again, this is just allegations. I don't know for sure. We won't know until this plays out. Or maybe it doesn't even make it. Maybe they just settle it outside of court. I sure hope it goes the whole way, though, so we can really see some of the high line kind of, let's say, almost corruption that happened to the top there.
Well, Disney always has its hands in everything, though, right? Even if you're going to make money off of something. get away with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, back in like 2017, 2018,
Yeah.
Disney looked like it was on top of the world. Disney was acquiring everyone. The company went up to $180 billion in value. They had Disney Plus coming out. They had some of the biggest movies back to back. I think the year the Endgame came out, they had
Yep.
5 of like the 7 biggest movies that year for box office. Disney looked like it was unstoppable at one point. Not the case anymore. So this is that lawsuit's from 2 weeks ago. We got a new lawsuit, and this one. The thing about this one actually is that it also labels Bob Iger in it. So it's Bob Chapek, Bob Iger, and Disney in fraudulent streaming costs. And again, I read this lawsuit. It's pretty detailed. They also think they have insider trading information on Disney.
Of course they have insider trading. It's Disney.
So, yeah, against some of the executives, I should say. Because essentially they knew some of the decisions they were going to make was going to lower their stock price, and they were selling. And again, this is just allegations, but it seems pretty damning if this actually comes the full way. So, like I said at the start, the directors really just have one responsibility: to make the stock value go up, because they want to make the
Well,
shareholders
yeah,
happy.
they have one job and one responsibility only: make their investors happy, make their investors more money.
Make your investors more money. That's how you're going to make them the happiest.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's I want to say sometimes there's some clauses to that. There's some exceptions where, let's say, back in World War II, Walt Disney at the time didn't care about making a profit. He cared more about promoting at the time what they needed to for World War II. So there are some exceptions. Sure, if you can get away with that for things like nationalism at the time. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, it's making money is what's going to drive people to want to buy your stock and be happy with your stock.
It's not going to be your statement in power to the people.
Yeah, so this is another lawsuit, and this isn't the only lawsuits we're talking about here. I mean, Victoria Alonso earlier. What was the showrunner that was supposed to do the Acolyte? I don't remember her name offhand, but anyway, she sued. It's just nonstop for Disney getting sued, and it's just such a bad look. It's bad press after bad press for them. But this is where I wanted to lead with this. So we were talking about Disney the whole time. Talking about Disney not doing so well. So this is TradingView. It's a pretty commonly used trading platform if you like to do any kind of stock analysis. So I do dabble a little bit in technical analysis for stocks. Don't follow me for financial advice. I can help you turn thousands of dollars into tens of dollars. But
I'm going anyway.
Nice.
so let's ignore most of the indicators on here. It's just ones I keep up: RSI, BBWP, and Stochastic. But what I see here is, and I put a vertical line for support. Support and resistance are really the most important things when you're looking at stocks. And this was support that Disney kind of had for a long time, and it fell through it back on the 25th. And that to me signals a lot more pain to come usually. Now volatility was increasing, that's just up here at the same time, that I would deem to be not a good sign for the way things were going to go. So today it did bounce off 80. I don't see support at 80, but 80 is a nice round number, and the stock market itself is just
Yeah.
all about psychology. So anytime there's something that kind of looks nice, really,
Dopamine numbers.
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, really, when you do technical analysis as well. So I want to point out a couple things here, though. So I do think Disney stock's going quite a bit lower, but I'm going to show you why I think that. So number one, I want to show you back here. This is where Bob Chapek got fired, and where Bob Iger came back in. As you can see, it came down a bit. It did rally at one point, went back up above, almost a 120. And after that, it's just been in a very, very solid downtrend afterwards. And the trend is your friend. Is one of the best things you can ever follow for any stock. Now, it will turn around. You look for certain things, but this does not look like it's going to turn around anytime soon. It's going to take something very big in the macro environment instead of technical analysis to do that. And I don't see anything good on the horizon. The next big movie is The Marvels.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I mean, yeah, didn't they just...
It's going to make so much money.
No, it won't. It's gonna get a release on the streaming platform in less than 2 weeks. They're gonna take it out of theaters and at least drop 100,000 of them.
So, it's obviously it's not going to do incredibly well. But this is just one more bad decision for Disney. And during, not his last investors call, Bob Iger, but the one previously, he talked about the return to Disney's form with The Little Mermaid coming out. I mean, that was not a hit success. But anyways, we'll see how The Marvels does. So right now we're on the daily. I'm going to go back to the weekly just to make this point a little bit easier. You can still see the lines. But as you can see, the support really was there at around that $85 region. After that, really, you have to go back, and this is where everyone kind of talks about 2014 or 9 years ago is the last time I was here, but I don't see support anywhere near. I mean, you're going to see little bits of bumps around the $80 region, maybe a little pick me up around 70, mid 70s, but realistically, where I see actual support after this is high 60s. If I was looking at this to buy a stock, like I said, don't follow me for stock advice. But if I was waiting for it and technical analysis, kind of really nice kind of rally at some point happening, it would be high 60s is where I'd be looking to buy if I was going to do it. That is not good. That is a loss of another, 20% almost on their stock at this point.
A good chunk.
And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I can't tell the future. I'm just saying, based on my limited knowledge of technical analysis, I see Disney stock doing incredibly terrible. The macro factors are all against them, and I don't see anything good in the technical analysis part of it. And that's just one more bad decision for Disney that continues to drive this price down. I don't know if Disney's ever going to change their way. I don't. I wish they would. But at the moment, every time you hear about Disney in the news, it's just bad thing after bad thing.
Well, of course, Disney has been doing nothing but historically done the bad thing.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just...
I'm not impressed and I'm not shocked.
I don't want to say historically they've done a bad thing. I do think Michael Eisner really brought Disney through a great part of the Renaissance there. I mean, all the 90s
Watch
movies.
what they're going to do to Frozen 3.
Okay, but again, I don't want to say they've always been bad. Sure, they're not doing great right now, and they're going to keep making bad decisions. I mean, I've even heard reports that they make employees hold DEI journals.
That's so stupid. Oh my god.
So, topic for another video. I think ESG.
I checked my white privilege today.
Yeah. Topic. They should hold actual meetings to teach them how to do that. But anyways, topic for another day is that I think DEI is dying, at least its current form. ESG is going the way of the wayside. And a little bit here, because it looks like BlackRock and Vanguard have really given it up, and that's $18 trillion in assets between the two of them. That's not saying that's all the money out there, but that is a very large chunk of money that was really pushing. At least BlackRock is really pushing it. Vanguard's trying to get out of it now for the last year or so. But that's a really big chunk of money that used to be at the forefront of pushing ESG, and it's really starting to scale back to the point where they may even be exiting things, especially to do with environment. So at the moment, like I said, different video.
That's a complete freaking cop-out.
But, well, honestly, I think they've realized it's destroying the economy, destroying entertainment.
Let me just be the forefront in making sure everybody does this and they are able to get a loan or anything. But make sure that you put implement these places into their movies as well.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
It's
I'm
not even
so
a loan.
mad.
Yeah, it's like their line of credit,
So
which they need to
mad.
operate a business. But anyways, light at the end of the tunnel, I think, with that one, because Larry Fink may have seen that maybe it's not a good idea to waste your investors' money. And if anyone's curious, BlackRock actually controls the pension funds for most places in the States. So
Yay!
yeah, it's your own money doing it. But anyways, might be turning around. But you know what? That's all I want to talk about today. Disney continues to fail, lawsuit after lawsuit, and I think their stock price is going nowhere but down. I don't see anything good in the macro environment coming up for them anywhere in the near term. And, you know, just one more nail in the coffin for Disney. I don't think it's going to fail anytime soon, but I also don't see anything good on the horizon. I think that this is going to be a long wake-up call for Bob Iger here as he tries to right the ship. I just think he's lost. I think he has no compass.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
He's lost out at sea. No chart, no compass. He has no idea. He's reaching the blind. There's $27 million well spent.
Leading the blind. The blind leading the blind, as they say.
But anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I have nothing else to say. Bob Iger sucks.
Yeah, well, thanks for sticking with us if you made it this point, till this point. And you know what? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Let us know if you think maybe Bob Iger's doing the right thing. Maybe Disney is on the right path. Maybe we're totally wrong. I kind of told you what I think. Why don't you share with me? But you know what? If you do that, then they're going to have to defend your thesis. So do that with me. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.
See you guys in the next video. Toodles!
Bye, guys.